Welcome to Failing Fit with Carrie. So today we're going to talk about our some exercises we can do to strengthen our ankles and our calves, even a little bit into our thighs. We're also going to talk about placement of the feet and the ankles and the knees and all of that. So it's good for a few things. It's good for just everyday walking, if you're a runner, if just you walk, which most of us do. It's also good for dancers. You guys know that I've been a ballerina for a long time, and these are good exercises when I teach pre-pointe, which is the kids that are getting ready to go on point, or even when you're already on point and you just want to condition and keep that strength up. Even when you're not on point and you're doing ballet in your slippers, we have to balance on our foot, we have to balance in releve, so these are some exercises that will help with that. So we're going to talk about a few things. I'm going to stand up so you can see my feet, and we're going to talk about a few things. So first of all, whenever you're walking, just regular life, obviously we talked about ballet, we're always turned out, but when we're just walking, make sure that your feet are lined up parallel. Most people walk a little out or a little in, or you'll have one foot going like that. Most people don't walk properly. So that's a big thing to think about, making sure that our knees go straight over our toes when we walk. They're perfectly parallel. We're walking heel to toe and rolling through that foot. So we want to think about that. So our tibialis muscles, our anterior and our posterior, those are the muscles around the ankle that help you move your foot around. So what happens sometimes when those muscles are weakened, we tend to pronate or supinate our feet. Most people have that issue. So if you're pronating, if you're rolling in, you want to pull up on this muscle right here, this anterior muscle, pulling up here. So see how I'm sinking and I'm pulling up. I'm not rolling out, I'm just pulling up and I'm even over my feet. If you do have that problem of supinating, then you need to compensate by rolling it back in, but we don't want to go too much. So we never want to go too far one way or the other. Be right over those feet equally. I like to give myself just this little knee bend, kind of little bounce to see, okay, am I going straight over my toes? Are my knees going one way or the other? So moving on to ballet, first position, remember we talked about those feet, those heels are together and the toes are apart. When you turn out, you want to turn out from the hip. See, as my whole leg is turning out, I'm not just turning from the ankle and my knee goes forward, but my toes are going that way. Everything is open going out. So we're going to do a few exercises that we do in ballet that are going to help you strengthen those muscles. So we're going to start parallel and then we'll turn out and do it in first position. So I'm going to face you and I'll probably turn around at some point. Most of the time we do these exercises facing the bar. I'm going to face a few different directions just so you can see. I think for this one we're actually going to face this way. Since I'm going parallel, you can see my knees going over my feet. So we're going to plie, nice little demi-plie, lift those heels. Think about pushing your foot, this part of your foot forward. So you're not leaning forward with your body, you're pushing it forward. Extend, release. You can hold onto the bar, you have hand on hip, whatever you need. We're going to plie, heels up, extend, release, plie, heels up, extend, release, plie, heels up, extend, release. Now we're going to reverse that. Releve, we lift up, we plie, forced arch. Make sure those heels are sticking together and they're not starting to roll, because even up on this releve, this raised foot, we can start to roll one way or the other. So you want to come here, here, heels down, extend, releve, plie, heels down, extend, releve, plie, heels down, extend, releve, plie, heels down, extend. Now we're going to turn out and do that in our ballet first. So when you're doing this, the only difference is, again, turning out from the hip. And we'll have some various stretch videos and some different episodes where we are talking about turnout specifically, but always thinking about my whole leg comes out. Sometimes you even have to kind of come up into this passe, open it up so you can feel it in your hip. But we're going to do the exact same thing. So we plie, knees are going to the side, heels up. Now you want to think about presenting that heel, pushing it forward. Otherwise, you're pronating, supinating, rolling that foot one way or the other. Really push that heel forward. Extend, and when I come down, my heels are coming forward and together and I'm squeezing on my inner thighs. Plie, heels up, extend, release, plie, heels up, extend, release, plie, heels up, extend, release, reverse, releve, forced arch, plie, heels down, extend, releve, plie, heels down, extend, releve, plie, heels down, extend. One more time, releve, plie, heels down, extend. Good. Now we're going to talk about a few other things that you can do. So you can do those over and over and over again. Those are great. I do those while I'm doing dishes, while I'm brushing my teeth, while I'm just standing around waiting in line somewhere. Those are really good to do if you feel like you have your balance. Obviously, if you need to hold on somewhere, feel free. Now, there's another one. I'm going to actually turn this way so you can see. We're going to do eleves. Now, the difference between a releve and an eleve in ballet is releve is from a plie up on your toes. Eleve is just straight up. So you really have to use those calf muscles, use those ankles, squeezing everything. So this is a fun exercise to do. Facing the bar, you want to hold on, but make sure, you can't really see, but make sure we're not looking down at our feet. Try to look in the mirror or try to look up and feel it. We always want to feel it. You're not always going to have a mirror, especially on stage. You want to feel what the correct placement feels like. So try not to look down. Also, remember we've talked about in our balance videos, looking down brings your body down. You're going to lose your center. You're going to lose your balance. So keep that core nice and tight. Lift up, look forward. And we're just going to do some releve. So we're going to go plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve. Now, heels down, just eleves. Up, down, up, down. My heels are coming together every time. Squeezing those thighs, squeezing those calves. You should really feel everything working. Those hips working. Now, the last one, we stay up. Little pulses, we don't touch the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, hold. Try to maybe let go of that bar with one hand or two. See, my ankle is starting to wiggle. That's when fatigue sets in. Fight that. Pull up in your center and release and come down. Shake it out. So in the middle of these exercises, you're always welcome to do a little calf stretch here. You can even come up against the wall. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe we'll do it on this. So those are some good things to do. You're definitely going to feel the burn in here. So now we're going to do that. This is where it gets a little complicated. We're going to do it on one foot. So remember we talked about in our plie video that coupe balance? We're just touching our toe right here. You've got to hold all of this up. I'm turned out from my hip. My hips are evenly placed. Both of them are facing the same direction. I'm not going to drop this leg. So I'm going to hold, my core is tight, in. Plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve. See, my knee is going straight over my toe. Everything is lined up the way it is. Everything is lined up properly over where it goes. And we go up and down, up and down. Elevates, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and little pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold here. This is where you're getting tired. Don't let this other leg start to drop. Now we put it down, shake it out. Whew. That calf should be burning pretty good right now. Mine definitely is. Shake it out, stretch it out, whatever you need to do. We're gonna do the other side. So remember, you can hold on to the bar with one hand or two, but keep that body up. Don't look at the floor. So I'm gonna show that coupe. I'm gonna turn out on this side. Everything should be placed properly. Same thing, knees going over the toes. Plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve, plie, releve. Now eleves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hold here and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Balance. Really get that heel forward. Really, really fight for that balance. Release. Shake it out. Whew. So that's some things that we can do standing up to work on that ankle and calf muscles. Again, you're gonna feel inner thighs every time you squeeze. When you're here and you come down, squeeze those thighs. When you're in that plie, you come back up, squeeze those thighs. So now we're gonna grab a TheraBand and we're gonna do a little bit of work seated. Okay, so we've done some of our strength training exercises standing up, so we're gonna do a few sitting down with our TheraBand. Now, the TheraBand comes in a lot of different colors and also a lot of different strengths, so pick which one works for you. This one is a pretty basic middle of the road one. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put it around your foot, but make sure it's flat. Sometimes it'll start to roll up. This is not really gonna do any good. So get it nice and flat, and it's gotta cover this whole side of your foot. Now we're gonna sit up really, really tall, engaging those abs. Remember, I like to multitask. So we're just gonna work on our posture and work on our core while we're doing this, and you're just gonna open your feet. So without the TheraBand, it looks like this. What people tend to do is this. See how my hips are moving? You wanna just move the ankle. So nothing here, you should be able to hold those knees still. Yeah? So band around, nice and flat. And a lot of times the bands, this one's cut. A lot of times the bands are a little longer. You can also use those ones that are actually joined right here that are a circle. Those are good too, because then you don't have to hold it. But we're gonna super glue those heels, and we're just gonna go out, out, out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're gonna switch, so we've worked the outside, now we're gonna work the inside. So I'm crossing my ankles over, I'm gonna put the band around the inside of my foot, and I'm gonna go out. This one tends to be a little bit harder for most people. We tend to be a little weaker through the center. Don't freak out. If it's great and it's really easy for you, well then you're really strong. If it's not, don't worry about it. You're okay. And if this leg is doesn't wanna touch the floor, that's okay too. We're really just gonna focus on our feet. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're gonna do another set of the first one. So uncross, shake it out, roll out those ankles if you need. Line this all up on there, covering that whole side of your foot. Sitting up tall, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're gonna do a set of the other side. I like to just cross the other foot on top. It doesn't really matter, but it's nice to kind of focus on having your feet in both positions. And then we move from the inside out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we're going to talk about some flexibility in our ankles. This is good for ballerinas, but it's also just good for working through those feet, keeping that range of motion for when we get a little older, some things get a little tighter, so we're going to really start working on keeping those ankles strong but loose. So for our ballet, we have to point our toes really, really hard, right? So this is an exercise that I have my students do. You put it on your foot. Again, keep it open, keep it nice and flat, don't let it roll up, and it's gonna touch the whole ball of your foot and your toe. So you're gonna come ball, toe, toe, ball. So if you look at this sideways, you should be able to see my foot working all the way through. So I'm really, really reaching, stretching, stretching, stretching. I'm gonna go ball, point my toes, toe, and back. Ball, toe, ball, and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So do that as many times as you need. And if you need to stop the video and do a few more, you can. I'm gonna move on so we can do the other side. Keep in mind, I say this in yoga all the time, it's true for dance too. You may have a side that's a little stronger or a little not as strong as the other side. That's okay, we still work both sides. So if you have to take a different option, that's fine. Or maybe it doesn't go as far, that's okay. But I'm still gonna sit up really tall. I'm gonna put this hand on the floor for support, and I'm gonna pull it back, ball, toe, ball, and up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So feel free to do as many of those as you need. Also in ballet, we're really big into partners, so sometimes you'll have a person come and physically push your feet down. You want to be very careful, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure your partner is listening to you, because if they push too hard, we can have injuries. So we want to have them really be in tune to what you're feeling and listening to your body, because we don't want any kind of problem here. You just want a little pressure. Also, same thing, Achilles. This tendon right back here is tight for most people, especially if you don't wear good supportive shoes, which we want to make sure we're doing. I know I wear high heels too. Ladies, we all wear the cute sandals. Those are okay for every now and then, but if we're walking a lot, everyday life, good supportive shoe, okay? So you can take the TheraBand for what we're about to do next. I'm actually gonna take a towel. I'm a little bit more flexible through that part of my body, so I'm gonna use something that doesn't give as much, but feel free to use one of these if you need a little bit more give. But I'm just gonna hook it around, and I'm gonna pull my toes back as far as they'll go. You can even lift that foot up. You can lift way up here and get the stretch through here. That is okay. But we really want to work on this Achilles tendon, pushing that foot back as far as it'll go, thinking about getting my toes to my shins. Now that's kind of physically impossible, but that's the image you want to have, is right here. And I'm pushing my heel forward, reaching, and then I'm gonna go forward with my toes and really just, if I don't have a partner, push, but make sure your toes aren't curling under. You still want them to be out. So stretch through those toes, push the front of the foot down. Push it forward, pull it back. If you want to take that towel, again, pull harder, you may. But see how my heel's coming off the floor, because I'm really reaching back. So Achilles tendon is stretching, and now we're stretching through these tibialis muscles, these anterior tibialis muscles, through the front of the foot, stretching through the toes, pushing forward. Sometimes you can even stick your foot underneath something. You've got a shelf or something that cuts right there. You can kind of just push, but be very careful, knowing your limits, knowing where your body's gonna go. We don't ever want pain. We want tension in our stretches, but not pain. So sometimes you can just sit and do one of these. This is gonna work the calves. It's gonna help you work through the foot. If you wanna use your band, that helps as well. Rolling out the ankles, all of that is really good. Also, start to think about turning from the hips. As we get into our stretch series, we'll work on that more. We'll talk about turnout a little bit more. But these are just a few things to really start to prepare these muscles right here, either strengthening them for just in general, we want to get a little bit stronger, or we're preparing for point shoes, or for dance class, or for whatever we need, maybe an injury we're rehabbing, we want to work on strengthening these muscles. So again, thank you for joining me today, Feeling Fit with Carrie. Check us out on Facebook. Share all of these with all of your friends. If you have feedback on there, please message me. Let me know. If there's something you want, let me know. I'm definitely working on getting more and more up here for you guys every week. So talk to me, shout outs, messages, whatever you guys do, let me know. Thanks and have a great day.